Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the price of Bitcoin because Bitcoin is pumping as we speak right now. So on the 1 hourly chart, Bitcoin, if you remember in my live stream, I was talking about a possible formation of a bearish continuation pattern or a bear flag. Now this is also, if you make it ascending, it also becomes a bear flag too, and I did update you guys earlier on this morning regarding the breakout from this ascending bear flag, which I changed it from a continuation pattern because we did start to trend higher and make higher highs. So this is perfect, right? Usually these do tend to break towards the downside. However, of course, in TA, anything is possible. So what I always personally give as a tip is to always have an alert for either support or resistance line, because just in case we break towards the upside or towards the downside. But guys, remember, nothing in this video is financial advice whatsoever. This is just my own personal TA and opinions only. But guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm CryptoKid, and let's jump back into the charts. So Bitcoin is pumping. I personally think this is happening because finally the FUD is over. We did have all of that Binance FUD, and on top of this, I think what's happening is the dollar, I think, is going to soon lose a lot of its value. So I do think that the Chinese yuan will gain a lot more dominance compared to the US dollar, which I do think is going to cause the US dollar to lose a lot of its value. And yes, people are thinking that Bitcoin could be the solution, and people will switch to Bitcoin. I do think the bigger countries will shift to yuan, and maybe the smaller countries will start to use Bitcoin. I think this is a possibility, but that is why I do think Bitcoin is pumping right now. And of course, even though the US dollar drops in value, just because the US dollar drops in value, Bitcoin could still tend to the upside, because of course you're measuring Bitcoin against the US dollar. So if the US dollar loses value, then technically Bitcoin increases its value compared to the US dollar. So this is what I would be seeing in the short to mid term. However, on the 4 hourly chart, we are entering into a very, very critical zone, which I did talk about in my videos for a while. Now, I want to get rid of these because I don't think these are valid anymore, because we're not forming a head and shoulders pattern. This got invalidated when we didn't break towards the downside from over here. However, what is forming though on the daily chart is a potential bull flag. So what I do is I'm going to get rid of all of this past analysis, right? We're going to get rid of all of this past analysis and create a fresh new one. So I'm going to get rid of this symmetrical triangle, the previous ascending parallel channel, and all of these things, because what we could be doing is we could be forming another bull flag, which would be amazing. It would be absolutely perfect. So this would be what we're looking at. This would be the bull flag. And in fact, what I could do is, instead of using these trend lines, I could use my parallel channel tool, which will be even more accurate in drawing a bull flag. So this is what it would look like, our bull flag, and we could be trending in this. However, again, on the daily time frame, we could also still possibly form a head and shoulders pattern, but for this to happen, of course, we would have to see a break towards the downside. So a potential downside target would be this 23.9K level, only if we break down from the support. However, this could again also be a bull flag, and usually bull flags tend to break towards the upside, right? And so my initial target for a bull flag breakout would be we'd have to enter into the weekly chart for this, because on the weekly, I have been mentioning that this range that we're in right now, this purple range that is in between the price of $28,000 and $32,000, is super important, because in the previous Bitcoin cycles, the price has come to these levels quite occasionally, and it's been fantastic support in the history of Bitcoin. So this level is super, super crucial, right? So again, this would be a very important level for us to break to the upside above. And if we do manage to get the proper right volume here and then break towards the upside with bullish volume, this could confirm a next bull market. But of course, I want this to happen first. Without this happening, I'm not going to be certain. We do need a lot of bullish volume. So this is the first thing that I would be saying. And of course, a bullish breakout would give us a target of, you'd have to measure the pole of the bull flag. That would give you a target of around about, so let's see, it would give us a pretty astronomical target of around, $38,300. That would be a crazy target. But of course, I don't think this is, we do have to get above some certain stuff, right, before we reach this target. And we do have to get above this range to reach this target. So again, what I want to see is a big bullish breakout, right, to this level over here, to the $32,000 level at least, right, because again, these price touchbacks on the previous Bitcoin cycle is super important. But if we just want a conservative target for the short term, I would just measure the height of this of the actual flag itself, because this is again a parallel continuation channel. It would give us a a humble target, not a super crazy target. So if I just get rid of this arrow for a second, this would give us a target of about $31,650 if we break to the upside from this pull. And also we could have a, if you want to do a 50-50%, right? But again, nothing in this video is financial advice, just my own TA. You could also measure the half of this flag itself and do two take profits potentially. So one at 50% at $30,140 and the second one potentially at $31,500. So you could do two take profits on that, right? You could do that yourself, but I always do recommend you jump into the chart yourself and do your own TA. But I would personally only do this if we see a break above the resistance of this bullish flag. But I would set a very tight stop loss in my opinion to for me personally, I don't like to risk more than 20%. I don't like to lose more than 20% on a single trade, and I like to allocate only 10% of my trading portfolio to a single trade. So I trade very risk managed, and I don't risk anything that I'm not afraid of losing into a trade, so I don't panic, right? So that's what I would recommend, doing proper risk management if you want to get into a trade like this. Again, this is just a tip and not financial advice. But guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy the video. If we look into the S&P very quickly, again, the S&P is kind of, the Bitcoin chart is kind of breaking its correlation with the S&P because the market hasn't opened yet, but, we are seeing a small pullback on the S&P 500, but we are still in this ascending triangle for the S&P, which usually tends to break towards the upside. But again, both ways could happen. Just keep your eyes on this pattern. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. I'll see you guys very soon. So take care, guys. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and bye-bye.